How's it going, everyone? Texas Man here. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Well, let you guys know this video is sponsored by Arizona Iced Lemon Tea. Get yours now. I'm joking. This video does not have a sponsorship. I wonder if YouTube will actually watch this video and be like, he said he got sponsored, but he didn't. So, yeah, this might confuse YouTube a lot. But who cares? I don't care. Hope you're having a great day, guys. And as you guys can tell, yeah, I finally decided to shave. LOL. We are finally where I'm at. Finally getting rid of all the slush and snow. So we're finally actually entering spring. Yeah, it's like almost a month behind. So we're finally getting into the rainy but also hot and humid part of my life in my area. So yeah, woohoo! Nice shiny face for this video. So shiny! Okay, enough. Wano reference if you guys didn't catch that. Anyway, I hope you're having a great day. If you guys will, please give the video a thumbs up if you guys do enjoy it, of course. And subscribe, of course, if you guys have not already. Also, do me the biggest favor of all, hit that bell notification button. Make sure you guys select all for all notifications. Also, make sure if you guys think you are subscribed, make sure you guys double check. I've been checking my YouTube analytics recently, and 70% of you guys who watch my videos aren't subscribed at all. So please double check if you guys watch my content on a regular basis, and make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. It just helps support me and helps YouTube realize, hey, he's making great content. Let's push his videos further into the YouTube algorithm. So that would be greatly appreciated if you guys do. If you guys missed out on anything on my channel, I do have a bunch of playlists set up here on my channel. I cover movies, TV shows, and tabletop games. And then I re-upload my Twitch streams, Douglas447, and add them here onto my YouTube channel as gameplay content, so you guys can watch that if you want. Also, of course, check out my Twitch channel, Douglas44 again. It's completely free if you guys want to head over there and follow. Would be greatly appreciated. We're going to be talking positives and negatives about Warfare. This is a new movie that just came out recently here in 2025. It's about an hour and a half long, and it is rated R. First off, I want to state, I think that if you want to see this movie, you need to see it, and you need to see it fast, because this is a studio that makes movies, and unfortunately, because it's a smaller studio, it's not like, Disney or Universal. This is by A24 Studios, who did Civil War that came out last year. That was a major controversial film because it was marketed as a war movie, and it wasn't that. It was more of a road trip film. This is a war film. Okay, I want to state that first of all. This is a war film. So if you have any inclination to see this movie, go out and see it, because a lot of times the studio that makes these movies, they're only in theaters for like 2 to 3 weeks. So, and then they're gone, and then you have to wait until it comes out on streaming or onto physical media. So I would also just say, if you're looking for something fun and engaging, watch this movie. Okay, I don't think we've had a movie come out this year that I can remember actually watching that was engaging and entertaining, and I had a fun time watching it, and I left the theater feeling different than when I walked in. There's been a lot of movies, whether that's like Mickey 17, Flight Risk, Minecraft. There's not a movie that I've gone in with a lot of anticipation, just hoping for something good. Okay? I want to state also, and I'm probably going to reiterate this at the end of the video, but this is probably one of the best, if not the best movie of 2025. When I do my list video of best movies of 2025, this is up there as being the best movie. Okay? This is a must-see theatrical experience. Whether you're wanting to support what SEALs and Marines did in 2006 in Iraq, or what they're doing today to protect our freedom at this very millisecond, or you're just wanting to see a war movie, or you're wanting to see, hey, what's all the buzz about, and is this actually a war movie, unlike Civil War from last year in 2024? Go watch this movie. This is a movie that you need to see in the theater. And one of those reasons is the sound design and the authenticity and the realism. And I'll get into all that stuff later on in the video. Now, like I said earlier, this film is rated R, and it's because of a lot of language, but most importantly, the realism. Okay? Do not go into this movie if you're squeamish. If you're like, oh no, I don't like blood. Oh no, I don't like violence. Oh no, I don't like guns. Oh no, I don't like people screaming and cursing. And oh, me. Don't watch this movie because this movie will trigger you within the very first 15 to 20 minutes. Actually, this movie will probably trigger you with the opening scene. Now that I'm thinking about it, because it's about a bunch of SEALs watching a early 2000s fitness training video. And I'm just like, I'm watching this and I'm like, yeah, it's amazing how in 20 years times have changed. This is not a feel-good movie. Okay, this is a war movie. It's kind of implied in the title, but in case you're like, dumb, this is a war movie. This is not a feel-good movie. Now, there are some jokes sprinkled in, and when I was watching this with my family, we were all laughing. Another thing I want to talk about before I get further. I saw this at a 6:30 o'clock showing last night, and what astonished me is how dead empty the theater was. It's opening night for a big new war film, and except for me and my family, and I think there's like 2 or 3 other groups, and they were like 3 or 4 people. So there's like max 20 people in this auditorium that could hold 50 to 100 people. It was pretty dead, and I think that's because this movie's coming out with King of Kings. We've got Amateur. Minecraft is in its second weekend. Snow White's still at the box office, if anyone actually gives a shit about that film. A new movie called Drop came out. So there was a bunch of movies that came out last night that Warfare is having to compete against. And I don't think the marketing really was good for this movie. Unless you're like me and you were keeping up to tabs with, the behind-the-scenes stuff with the film, your anticipation for this movie probably was 0. And that's kind of sad. I like this movie because not only is it intense, but it doesn't hold back. It doesn't hold your hand and be like, oh, war is such a nice thing. War is rainbows and unicorns and princesses and fairy tales. Okay, I'm sorry, that's not reality. This movie is intense. It doesn't hold back from showing you blood, guts, gore, and bones. And when somebody gets shot, okay, it ain't fun. When an IED goes off, these SEALs don't walk away without 0 injuries, okay? There is this mindset that I think people think that if you're a Marine or you're a SEAL, that somehow you've become superhuman through training, okay? You're still a human being. You can still get injured. You can still get killed. And this movie shows that even though they're frogmen, if you're a SEAL, then you still have the ability to be injured. Now, your tolerance and your acceptability of being injured may differ to another person in a different branch of the military, but you're still human, okay? When you get hit, you get hit. And that's just how reality works. The realism factor in this film is also helped by the fact that the movie was shot with the help of former SEALs that were actually there. And they also trained the actors to properly hold their weapons and give them advice to how they should act and, talk and walk and their presence in the film. These former SEALs also gave advice to the writers and the directors on how things would unfold in certain situations. So this film is not only based on real events, the people that are behind the camera were actually there, okay? So I think that really helps make the film feel more believable. Obviously, there's some Hollywood stuff that unfortunately happens. Like these SEALs, they're just opening windows, they're showing their whole body to a window. So it's like, no shit, no wonder they figured out that you guys are there and you're an American. I mean, you're just standing out in the open basically saying, hey, I'm in this building. Don't mind me. So there is some nonsense in the film. So just be aware of that. 99.9% of the film, though, is realistic on how certain things would probably have happened back in 2006. This is basically a Band of Brothers show. It's basically the Band of Brothers show, but in Iraq. However, if you're wanting to watch a movie with character development, unlike Band of Brothers, this film has 0. Okay? Now you might be thinking, oh God, so we already know this is not going to be a 10 out of 10. Here's the thing. I know I like watching movies for character and plot, but the SEALs and the Marines that were there to do a job. And the film portrays that excellently. You know, they're there to do a job, and they're there to survive the war and their job that they're doing. Okay, this isn't a hero story. This is a story of survival. So with that being said, I can forgive the lack of character development. You know, they're there, they have a job to do, and they're going to do it. Obviously, the SEALs that are still active, they can't tell you their actual names, so the names are kind of made up, which kind of makes the whole character development thing kind of difficult for them to execute. Plus, this is only a 90-minute movie, and the film's focus is not on the characters so much and their development. It's about them surviving and getting out of the dangerous situation that they're in. I think the best character in this film, though, is sound design. And you might be thinking, huh? If sound design is done well and excellent, sound design could be a character of its own. It sets the mood and it surrounds the actual characters that are on screen. The sound design in this film, excellent. It's an 11 out of 10. From tank shells going off, jets flying low to try to scare and intimidate the enemies, to bullets, to grenades, to ricochets, motor strikes, whatever it is, everything is loud. It's bombastic. Even the radio chatter. There's this scene in the middle of the movie where the radio chatter for the comms unit SEAL dude, it gets so loud because there's several squads trying to communicate to home base, and it just becomes so loud that he literally has to unplug his radio so he can't hear it anymore, and we, the audience, can't hear it. It gets so loud and bombastic. The sound design, whoever was in charge of it, you guys did a phenomenal job with that. I applaud you. Great job. Overall, Warfare, it's an excellent film. It's a must-watch. If you guys have a chance to check it out in the theaters, I highly encourage you guys to do so. This is a film that I'm going to 100% buy. 100%, no questions asked. It's a film that I would highly recommend to anybody that wants to see a good war movie. And this is, like I said earlier, one of the best, if not the best movie of 2005. This is the best movie that I've seen all year long. And another reason, last thing I want to talk about is it's original. Okay? We haven't seen something like this before. And it's a self-contained story. Also would encourage you, after the movie ends, stay for some behind-the-scenes stuff of what they did to make the movie and, pay respects to the SEALs that were and are in the service. And, of course, the Marines as well. So, with that, I'm going to give Warfare a 9.5 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye, guys.